I DM myself, so I'm sympathetic to the problems represented by certain elements of our community. The DM from my Sven campaign asks if I can help one of his friends with a player like our edge rogue. Rattles internally. Note, IRL, I'm fine with whatever your deal is, as long as it doesn't hurt the game. Talk to said DM. Apparently, this guy is one of those fucks that wants to bring politics and his fetishes into the game. Tries to create a colony of genderqueer sex pagans in every setting they play, and tries to drag other player characters into it. They can't just boot him out because of pre-existing friendships. I have a passive-aggressive, petty skill set particularly suited to solving this problem. Only the DM knows that I'm an operator. Tell the DM I can help, but I have one condition. You guys already know what it is. Group is far, so I'm playing via VoIP, eyes on the scene via webcam. Take this motherfucker in. All 18 stone of him. You know that tip fedora picture? Imagine that with soulless eyes and a coif with streaks of neon color. In-character and out-of-character diatribes about how fucked up each reality is. Target so fucking acquired, he's only gonna count for 3/5 of a kill. DM briefs me. Bone up on his interests. My skeleton has to be a magic user this time. Ugh. I do the unthinkable. I weave a network of illusions that makes me look like a brown elf trappy fuckboy. Introduced to the group, they think I'm a rogue for hire. Roleplay's okay so far. That guy in question is playing a noble savage orc barbarian. Roleplays like he's the race's Frederick Douglass, despite low intelligence. My PC's name is Vomer Malleus, by the way. He's already miring the character I've tailored to his brand of game ruination. His fleshy thighs can't see through my elven disguise. Only socket eyes can reveal my lies. He wants the bacula. Goes on to me about the virtues of his, and I quote, revolutionary way of life as we play. That's nice and all, but I just don't feel it in my bones. Describe all of my actions in physical detail to kick his magical realm into turbodrive. Group thinks I'm as bad as him at this point. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a skeleton. That guy increasingly frustrated I don't want to be his waifu as we play. Towards the end of a particularly productive session that includes trouncing a mid-boss and finding an unexpectedly good loot cache, it happens. He propositions me. Here, Vomer, take my share of loot. What? Why? You are a valuable friend. Expressions of the group turn sour. Apparently, in his mind, this is orc culture method of betrothal. Great for him as it forgoes consent. He's done this to a girl and guy in the group before. That night, we make camp. It begins. Prep disintegrate rune on my coccygeal vertebrae. Put on my most scanty leather gear. Make sure ears are particularly knifey and obtuse. He enters the tent. Tries to enter my PC. I try to fight him off unsuccessfully. He pulls off my anime tier functional negligee. Smell of onions in the air. JK. DM holding back laughter. As you put your member into Vomer, you know something is wrong immediately. You can feel the breeze through the tent once fully inside. I manage to pry his hand off my little elf mouth and shout to alert the other PCs. All they see, as they waken, is a naked, screaming orc struggling to get out of my tent, bleeding profusely from where his genitals should be, and being pursued by a glowing, sigil-laden skeleton. Open sesamoids. You tried to bone the wrong elf, you fucking green-skinned troglodyte. Rampant, unchecked forest dweller privilege. I can physically feel the triggers going off a mile away. My skull when. Finish off the orc while spewing every derogatory word for orc I can think of, even work in a few skelepuns. That's when the dude slides into non-stop infinite slime bag. Out of character shouting from his player starts blowing out the laptop mic. So loud, the sound waves start the rolls a-jiggling. This racist fuck is ruining the fun for everybody. Thinks the other players enjoy being sexually assaulted and being surrounded with a pansexual community of Tumblr memes every single campaign. DM shrugs and says it's kosher. The dude hits a level of tantrum most toddlers can only dream of achieving. Tries to flip the big wooden dining room table we're at, fails miserably, only succeeds in spilling some beers that the slower players hadn't secured. Sweatily rolls out of frame. My feed suddenly goes dark. Apparently, the dude took the telepresence laptop and hurled it across the room while continuing his screaming fit. Left in tears and no longer speaks to any of them because they wanted him to calm down instead of erecting a makeshift safe zone for him. Group's okayness with my actions sent him into Fedora death spiral, apparently. Feel bad about the laptop, so I drove over to replace the broken panel for the DM. It still works fine. Drive isn't actually that bad. Ask the group if they want to continue the game with me in person. Get a resounding, sure, why the fuck not?